You always got to hit on a woman in the shadows. You always got to make it just between you and her, because sometimes women, like the girls that you want to bang, they just want to be a hoe on the down low. They just want to have sex and not let everybody know about it. Wasted John says, hey, MLD, so I got this chick at work giving me huge choosing signals, different department. The latest signal was her telling me that she doesn't have her kids this weekend. Do I go for it? Well, here's the thing. When I hear something like that, that just tells me that you're not approaching women on your off time. That if you're getting to the point that you're like, oh, well, these girls at work are interested in me. When you start getting interested in women in a proximity to you, that's kind of like dangerous, okay? And I'm not saying to live your life in fear. I have plenty of coworkers, okay? Miss MLD is a former coworker, okay? And yeah, you know, it is what it is. That I mean, if she's giving you the green lights, sure. How big is your company? How big is your company, John? I need to know these answers. I need the answer to these kind of questions, because this is something that is very important, because I need to know if it's a corporation of like 500 people in a building, I think you can get away with it. I know a lot of people are like, oh my God, don't do it. Don't find it, like, don't date anybody in your, in your workplace. It's so terrible. You're going to go to jail and get in prison and everything. A lot of people live in fear. The reality is there's a lot of workplace sex going down all the time. You guys only hear the nightmare stories because they're the ones that make it to the public. But the reality is, that's just not the truth. It's just not the truth at all. It's just not the situation at all. But I need to know. Tell me in the chat, John. I know you're listening in right now. Wasted John says 100 people at the main site. I think it's probably too small, which is why I'm leaning towards no. The company nationwide, but corporate is like 100 people, maybe to 150. Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, you could give it a go, but you got to make sure that every single move you make is like, has enough plausible deniability to stand up in court. You got to move in the shadows, right? We had young Will in the Body Language Mastery Facebook group telling us that he was hitting on some girl publicly on her Facebook status. Okay, guys, you got to realize that you always got to hit on a woman in the shadows. You always got to make it just between you and her, because sometimes women, like the girls that you want to bang, they just want to be a hoe on the down low. They just want to have sex and not let everybody know about it. That is one thing. Another thing is that you don't want to be gassing these up more than they already are these days and age. Like, these girls are so extremely gassed up that, like, the last thing you need is like to be hitting on her in a public space, social media wise, and then she's like, oh my God, look at this guy, oh my God, he's such a creep, whatever, when in reality they're just saying that because they've got nothing better to do. A lot of girls, they subtly like it when you hit on them, and they're like, oh my God, this guy's like hitting on me, all these guys hitting on me. The reality is they're sub communicating is like, oh my God, like, I'm so desirable, blah 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 blah. Like, just shut the up, okay? Calm your mouth down. But that's the headache you don't want to be dealing with. So that is what I would say in regards to hitting on her. Make sure it's just done in secret. Make sure that it's done in a way that you could have plausible deniability. That's a big thing there. I have slept with plenty of girls that I've worked with, and honestly, it's not that big of a deal. I mean, I think people I think they say it more to cover their ass than they do to give good advice.